This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to sports. I'm Jared Higgs. Topping sports news tonight, the arrest of two more high-ranking FIFA officials extends the cloud of suspicion cast over the World Football Organization. Back in May, 14 senior FIFA executives were arrested at a high-end hotel in Switzerland. Alfredo Hawit and Juan Angel Neput were arrested today in similar fashion at the same high-end hotel in Zurich, Switzerland. Hawit is the president of CONCACAF, which oversees North, Central America and Caribbean football, while Neput is in charge of South American football. A select women's national rugby team traveled to Tobago today for the Carib-Tobago International Sevens rugby tournament. Before the players headed for the Southern Caribbean, they told our sports team that they expect big things.
We're going to be at least 3 teams I feel we be competitive with. The rest of the teams, we're not at that level yet, but we're going to try to succeed.
I think we're going to do pretty well, much better than we performed in previous tournaments abroad, because with the new coaching system and everything, I feel that we improved tremendously. We got skills, we have like a higher skill set now, and our main goal, this is really just for exposure, the Tobago Sevens tournament, but our main goal is really to slaughter the Commonwealth Games coming up next June. So, by the time we get there, that no team could touch us.
We've had movie sessions, so we've actually seen some of our competition in action. So we're trying to work with our strengths and maximize on their weaknesses. So I think we can do it.
Over on the basketball court, GSSSA action was in full swing yesterday. It was Doris Johnson taking on C.R. Walker in both senior boys and girls divisions, and well, they'd have to share the spoils. On the senior boys side, as the Doris Johnson Marlins improved to 5-1 in the season by beating the C.R. Walker Knights 66-46. Doris jumped out to a 14-0 lead and never looked back as they routed the Knights by 20 points. Leading the scoring for the Marlins was Teray Davis with 13 points, followed by Shaquille Brown, who chipped in with 10 points. On the losing end, the 1 and 2 Knights were led by Cassius Turnquest, who had 16 points. On to the senior girls action of the same matchup. This one went down to the wire. Despite being down by as much as 5 points late in the fourth quarter, Doris Johnson would battle back to tie the score at 49 with just 4.3 seconds remaining. Now Doris Johnson knocked down a free throw to go up by 1, but Antonia Fertile of C.R. Walker, she had other ideas. After taking the inbound pass, she drives between 2 defenders and puts up a shot that falls to give the Knights a 1-point lead. A last-ditch effort by Doris Johnson's Antonique Young falls short, and the Knights win in comeback fashion. We caught up with the clutch shooter after the game.
I got open and I made sure that I was set to hit my shot. There was pressure, but when you put your mind to it, you could do anything.
The losing coach, Kevon Spence, says it was a tough loss.
Well, it was a hard-fought game. From the opening whistle, we were, back and forth with Sierra Walker, a very well-disciplined team, and, they moved the ball well, something we failed to do at many portions of the game.
The cry for more money in regattas is going to be answered. That's according to the Minister with responsibility for sloop sailing, the Honourable V. Alfred Gray. According to Gray, this is the norm, especially with the success of sloop sailing and the hosting of regattas throughout the Family Islands. Gray noted that the regatta conclave set for this weekend will help navigate the best way forward for the sport.
Well, we have already had our budget for the year 2015-2016, and so until the next budget comes out, it'll be difficult for me to speak to more money, because it is what it is, and our budget is already decided for the year. But if out of this conclave we could find a way to show the need for more funding, because more funding will always be requested, I know that, but I'm talking about the need to do it, because the government really doesn't have as much money as it would like to for regattas, because regattas, in my view, have become, without being announced, the national sport. And I feel sure that more funding will make the sport even greater successes. But I do know that given the need to do it, I believe the government will find a way to do as best as it can to ensure that every regatta receives as much as it's humanly possible to ensure its success.
Hi, I'm Julian Gibson. Welcome to your weekly NFL football pick sponsored by Ace Draw. Well, this week I'm going with the Patriots. That's right, New England, we lost, but we should be able to beat Philadelphia. I'm also going with Carolina to beat the Saints, Giants to simply mash up the Jets, and yes, folks, I'm betting on the Dolphins. The Dolphins should be able to beat Baltimore, and come Monday night, Washington should be able to beat Dallas. Final score 24-17. Well, let's go to my little sis, Kelsey Johnson. She is still leading, folks.
This week's NFL picks are dedicated to my good friend Amaya, who's celebrating her sweet 16th birthday. Not only am I going to share my NFL picks, but I'm sharing a Coke with Amaya as well. So this week I'm going to go with the Panthers, the Steelers, the Cardinals, the Bengals, and come Monday night, the Redskins are going to mash up the Cowboys. Yes, they're without Tony Romo. They're going to beat them, destroy them, annihilate them, 33-10.
13 is said to be an unlucky number, but hopefully it will have the opposite effect for me as we start the month of December. This week I'm going with the Bears over the 49ers, the Dolphins over the Ravens, the Bucks over the Falcons, the Patriots over the Eagles, and on Monday night I like Washington over Dallas, 23-20.
Well, I'm enjoying my first week of vacation, but I still find time to send in my NFL picks. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jameis Winston to beat up on the Atlanta Falcons. They can't win even if they're playing in the Dome. Jacksonville to pull off the mini upset over the Tennessee Titans. Denver, they found the quarterback of the future and they're going to top San Diego. Carolina will be the only and still undefeated team left after this week up against New Orleans. And on Monday night, Tony Romo is out. Even that wouldn't have made a difference. Washington over the Dallas Cowboys, 31-17.
Well, that's your weekly football picks. Make sure to join yours truly every Monday night. Ace Draw on Robinson Road for Monday Night Football.
And that's all the time we have for sports. On behalf of the entire sports desk, I'm Jared Higgs. Stay tuned. Your final check on weather still to come.